Hello everybody and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program Rise of the Dark Fog. So in the last episode we've just finished clearing up this system, and now we have a shiny blue star that we can build our Dyson Sphere around. And in between episodes I actually did a quick trip to the Dyson Swarm settings and actually set up all the 20 orbits, and I did make some bad calculations or bad assumptions actually last episode or 2 episodes ago when I set up the first 5 or 6 layers. For orbit inclination we just have 0 to 180 degrees, not to 360, which means that I needed to set that up in increments of 9 degrees, not increments of 18 degrees. That has been fixed now, and it should all be great. Let's take a look at our Dyson shell. We will start off with just the one shell. I will ideally like to get all 10 shells built by the end of this game. And let's take a look at how we're actually gonna set up the shell. I will not care that much about design, but about efficiency. And as far as I know, the most efficient setup for the shell is, I think, this one. Now, there might be a better way to do it if you go to freehand mode, where you basically don't have any guidelines, but that is just a nightmare to set up. And let's pause time here for a bit to not have everything moving all over the place. And let's start drawing. So it doesn't really matter which type of line we use, as far as I understand, between geodesic and reticular frame. I will use this one for now. Again, the texture here doesn't really matter. This is purely aesthetic. And let's go for this one. And the whole idea here is that you start off in one of these center points, anywhere on the Dyson Sphere grid. That's why I wanted to unlock at least up to this level, so that I can start off here. You could theoretically start off on the median line, but it's just a bit more complicated to design, and if you do a mistake, it's going to be a very costly mistake. And then this is the minimum length of a segment, and we just start drawing up these segments. As you can see, a pretty nice pattern forms around, and basically we will be able to fill up the entire grid with just this pattern. For now, I will kick things off. Let's try different. I always use the default pattern, but I'm actually feeling a bit adventurous now, so let's use a different pattern. Now, I just wanted to showcase the pattern that we're going to be using. This is going to be applied throughout the entire sphere. We need to add a new layer because I just realized that while the inclination and longitude doesn't really matter, they're purely aesthetic values, the orbit radius is the one that will matter, because that will determine how many things we can place on our Dyson sphere. And well, as you can see, I have to zoom in a bit more now. There's a bit more space here to play around with. And I will do same pattern that I have just done a few seconds ago. Or at least something very similar to that. Oh no, it is actually the exact same size, I believe. I just need to fill these in once more. And yeah, as I was saying, this pattern, this type of triangles is actually a perfect symmetry around the whole sphere. We will start building this, and in between this episode and the next one, I will, or at some point when this gets near completion, I will fill up the whole sphere with this pattern, and then I will create new layers. With the Dyson swarm, there's no problem with intersection, but as you can see here, it doesn't allow me to build because it's too close to another shell. And what I need to do now is just go to this radius and go 1000 meters. This is in meters, I believe, closer. And this will create a valid shell. And this will be layer number 2. I won't add anything to this layer just yet. I'll just leave this one. Just in case, I will make sure to change to the correct grid. That's the word I'm looking for. And for now, we'll just be looking at building this shell. I think that this is gonna be our first task here. And well, we have 2 things that we need to do, maybe 3 things, but the third one is a bit of a background task, not strictly necessary. So let's go ahead, and well, we're gonna start off as we always do by placing down on ILS. Now I have just realized that I actually didn't bring enough rail ejectors, so I might do a short trip in between episodes to get more. And I will want to use... Okay, let's put an order in first. It will take a while for these guys to bring everything, and if possible, I will remote demand local storage. I would like to get some foundation in. I'll see if I still have any on me. I know that I have this thing over here, and I will figure out power just a bit later. How's the grid load? I can bump this up to about here without... Yeah, the grid is still working, that's great. And we should see, as soon as I put some warpers, I'll also make you fetch in warpers, obviously. Oh nice, we are actually getting foundation. And you know what? I will put this to 400, and I will just bring in a few more and use this as a hub for everything else. And let's see, I generally like to have this ring as potential power supply if I need to bring in more power, but I generally shouldn't. And this ring as solar sail ejectors for the EM ray solar ejectors. EM rail ejector, that's the word. And let's have a quick look here. Is it? No, that is not right. I think that this might be right. Let's see if the pattern holds. So ideally I would want this to go all the way over to this place. Okay, I need to get this out of the way, for now at least. And I am wasting a bit of space over here, but it's for a good cause. Now this is gonna be in the way now, so I will bring a solar power pole there, a power pole there. And let's take a look at this section. It is going to take a while for all of this to come through. The solar cells are coming through, that's great. Now, as far as I could tell, there's no way to do an equal division on this line. So that's our symmetry line. So ideally, I would want this to go all the way over here, I think. If this is the symmetry line, now it should be all the way over here. But if I do... Oh, actually, never mind that. This is actually symmetric. Okay, I must have been doing something wrong in my other playthroughs where these were not matching, but well, it looks like they're matching, so happy me. And I will actually do a ring here. So this is gonna go all the way around, and then you will be providing solar cells over here. And you're gonna be... Now, as far as I know, these will never actually overlap. I hope. It is a new pattern that I haven't tested, so I hope that that's still the case. I will put this in temporarily just so that I get the extra drones to build. And now I should be able to just drag like did I started dragging from over here? Yes. So it actually matters where you start dragging from, which shouldn't be the case, but it actually is, apparently. For this inner layer, it doesn't really matter. Anywhere you go, it will still match the pattern. But for some reason, on this layer, if you start dragging from the wrong item, it will... Oh, nice, that's very nice. I will stop them bringing more things in. And now, if I'm not mistaken, this should be 40 EM rail ejectors, which is the reason I was saying I didn't bring all the rail ejectors that I'm gonna need. Can I build some? Most likely now. So 40 rail ejectors, we have 2 orbits, which means that I will set up 2 per orbit. These ones that don't have power, I'll do a very hacky power supply for now setup. Make sure that everything gets covered. Well, those ones are covered because these are... Now I can definitely improve this, but I will first. So these are 2 in orbit 3. This will actually start shooting. Okay, that's too many 5s. This is 6 and this is 6. That's 1 8 and this is the second 8. Let's go the other way. Let's actually keep going counterclockwise. That's half of them done. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake and have to go over each and every single one of them again. That's why I keep getting back to the previous one, make sure that as much as I can didn't mess anything up. And what do you know, I did mess something up. The question is where? Okay, I've messed something up in the inner ring because this one should not be an 8. We have 16 in the inner ring, that means we should have the full 8. This is 20 and 20 and I need to figure out where I've put too many. So that's 3, that's 4. Oh, there we have it. So that's 5 and 5, 6. What? Okay. Do I have some tooltip? Orbit 1, orbit 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5. 6, 6, this is again 6, it should be 7. And this should be 8 and everything should be working fine now. And well, as we'll be able to see pretty soon, it is actually kind of visible here. Our solar cells have started dropping. Now they're not being brought in here because we still need to have our swarm. And let's have a quick look on the planet. I'm just trying to figure out where to start building. And I guess here looks like as great of a place as any. This is our equator line. For now, I'll just do this half of the map running that way. I will actually use okay, I can get rid of this whole thing, this whole mess. And let's start building. Well, let's start first of all requesting small carrier rockets. Also, let's get some warpers in here. 100 local demand, remote storage. We are out of the drones, but fortunately we have some drones over on the other one. So I just have 21 of these ones, and the way I will do this is, if I'm not mistaken, the belt can okay, so these guys, the hitboxes for these guys is pretty weird. I think I need to go one space more to the left. So cross the equator by just a bit more in this orientation. And let's see how many we can fit. Well, let's do the same thing on this axis, but just drag them over here. I will ideally want to have more space on the equator. And well, we're gonna keep it to this level. It is interesting that, well, the collision boxes over here are, well, somewhat weird. Did I not align this properly? I must have not aligned it properly. So, yeah, this looks great. And I'm just going for I'll get to this item in just a second. I'm just going for maximum throughput. Let's see, small carrier rockets, and I just want you to deliver items here. Now that is unfortunately too far apart still. Oh, that's interesting. This thing has changed as well. It used to have a slightly different icon. So yesterday there was actually a major upgrade I don't know if it's a major upgrade, but there was an upgrade for the game where we now have a couple of new things. Some major bug fixes, some minor bug fixes, some balance content, and I guess that's still inbound. Most importantly, we do have a few new items. Let's see where... I think this is a straight line. Yes, this one would be a straight line. So these guys we can actually daisy chain, which is... I'm wondering if I can I copy paste these? I think I might be able to copy paste. I will leave this on, these two rows on, but I will try to copy paste the third one. So it is quite nice that we can actually daisy chain the carrier rockets, and that should not come with too big of a penalty. The only thing that I need to be mindful of is actually, let's take that belt off, and I will run a line over on this side and have them feed through here. I guess that's good. Let's put a sorter. So I'll manually have to do this one as well. Hopefully the next ones I'll be able to just blueprint. Oh, I was actually missing the belt here too. Not a problem. We'll put a belt. Power poles should have connection. Now these guys, as you can probably see, have a pretty weird shape. Let's try to blueprint and see how that goes. And I did want to get maybe like this. That seems to be the pattern, and it is indeed tileable. The only thing that was overlapping was that belt. And that's great. So make sure I am... Oh, what happened there? Was that too close? I think that might have been too close. So the last one will complain if we put things too close. Okay, now it's good. Now, unfortunately over here, there's a bit of a problem because I need to get those ones out. I'll manually put the other ones in. This is all the carrier rockets we have available, vertical launching silos we have available for now. Did I never set this to remote demand? Apparently the answer is no. And as we can see here, our Dyson swarms are growing. We do have what kind of looks like a full sphere. There's obviously places where we were not able to build because of the limitation of the angle of fire. I do want to copy paste this, but before I do that, I want to sort out the power generation for this. Now, I could try... Actually, I could succeed at using the small power poles. There are places... well... Yeah, the symmetry, getting symmetry right around this place is a huge challenge. There are places where you can do that, there are some places where that is just not possible, and with this setup, I don't think I can get power delivered to these two things. That's why I will use the larger things. Now I do not want to place things over the thick lines. I will try to do something over here. I'm not that hopeful on how symmetric this will turn out to be, but I will do my best to, well, at least minimize the number of power poles that we need to place down. This one over here catches everything. This one over there is too much, and that means it needs to be over here. So I want to build on the second line, not on the third line. Second line from here, so 1, 2 on this one. Let's see, this one might be a bit... Oh, that is actually quite decent and kind of looks symmetric. And looks kind of symmetric, covers everything, so I will take it. And also, since I'm here, well, first of all, let's go ahead. I now have plenty of foundation to play around with. So let's finish painting this one up. So this is gonna launch my solar sails, and I want to get a slightly different shade of blue for this area. I guess that was it. Well, I will get more. Oh, no. No. Don't go into that quarter. Or that sector. Let's do it again. Cool. And this is where we're gonna have some ray receivers. This is too close to the EM rail ejector. I guess I will just center them over here. We have our first rocket. That is really nice. So we cannot put it on this line, which is a bit unfortunate. I will put it as close as I can, actually. This is too close for them, apparently. And there is this weird thing where it says too close to the EM rail ejector. So let's go one step down even. And this will work. Hopefully also have a bit of symmetry. It keeps the spacing, which is great, and I can now remove this. And our ray receivers are functional. Oh no, that is definitely not in the pattern. Well, this is not in the pattern either, but it is slightly closer. Let's get those things built. And well, this is, we just have power generation mode. I will just use power generation mode for now. We are requesting just a tiny fraction of the power that we have. And as we can see here, we have our first nodes starting to be built. There's, well, quite a few segments. I believe they will start with the center ones and then move their way out. And fairly soon we should also start to see blue. I think that once a node reaches a certain mass, a certain level of construction, it will be able to start pulling solar cells in. So this has a max output of 6 megawatts. It's not a huge amount, but it is something. We will need to enhance this blueprint. This will most likely be switched to maybe like this. I need to get there. I actually need to get to the other pole to well, paint it, and most importantly hide that copper deposit. Do I have enough? I need to make sure I do not have enough. I need to make sure that at least that thing gets covered so the rails can build. Yeah, that's it for foundation, but that should be enough. Now, the only thing that I'm looking at here is to have that belt coming out of the ILS be on one of the major lines. That is actually building. Now I will be missing 10 of these and about 10, I believe, ray receivers. We do not need to, however, worry about power generation here. Well, eventually, once all the ray receivers are being placed, we will have enough power to sustain the whole thing. And I will be using primarily Dyson Sphere power in this system. Other systems I will be doing a mix of accumulator delivery and this will not actually deliver anything because we don't have ships. Accumulator delivery and artificial star power generation. I just wanted to actually make sure that this whole thing works as intended. And what do you know, it doesn't. So carrier rocket, where's this? That is where I need to be next, fast. That means that in our home system something went. I cannot escape the pull of the planet, apparently. Let's see if I can. I am trying to get my battery charged as much as I still can. It's only the 2. No. If I press the wrong key again. Tab. So that's missing for construction, that's good. I just wanted to check that if anything more got destroyed. Now that I am traveling a larger distances and not gonna be able to get home in the blink of an eye, I might need to look at adding some planetary shields. Hopefully the fact that I had to abort that jump is not gonna leave me stranded for too long in the middle of nowhere. I am, however, not gonna make it. I'll be about 1 light year away. So I think we have just built our first node over here, and that means that, oh, actually 2 nodes. That means that they will start attracting solar sails from all orbits. And the reason why we've built all 20 orbits.
Warp engine deactivated.
1.6 AU, 11 AUs. That is a fairly long distance. I'll leave it to charge to about 600-700 megawatts. But as I was saying, the reason why I've built all 20 orbits is because, at least the way I understand it, the Dyson Sphere has a limit of how many solar cells it can draw from an orbit at a time. And the more orbits you have, the more the more sails you can start drawing. And obviously the more nodes you have, the more sails you can start drawing. So we will have to increase the... Okay, I think this is good enough now. Yeah, this is good enough. What? How did you miss that? Oh, it's our home planet which got hit. I have a base in the middle of... My shield should be able to handle a bit of some beating, even from direct attacks of a base. Okay, that takes care of that thing. I could look at just removing the dark fog here and moving the farm base somewhere else. But where would be the fun in that? And well, this is working. I kind of lost my train of thought there. Let's see how this is going. We have solar cells are full. We can launch as many as we want to. Unfortunately, we cannot say the same about our rockets. This is, I believe, completely dead, and this might be completely dead as well. Let's take a look and see how this is working. This is full. Right, I did limit this because it was draining up all my power production, which means that this will have no deuterium. Yeah, it all makes sense now. And I think that we're just about, well, we're actually a bit over time on this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed building our first Dyson Sphere together, and I will see you here next time.